everybody, and welcome back to the channel, to the Ultimate Racing League for our Wednesday Championship in the BMW M3. This is race 2 of a scheduled 3. However, I don't believe race 3 took part for, well, technical difficulties. I think it was supposed to take part. It was supposed to go ahead, should I say, but didn't. This is the last of the races, but it might explain some tyre choices as we go through that. But we'll have a look at that as we go through, and it will also explain the fact it's not a reverse grid. Positions are as they finished in race 1, but I've just had a quick look down the grid, and Osman is not there, so Osman didn't take part in this race for some reason. So he may have had a mechanical fault that the engineers couldn't put right, and couldn't get it prepared and ready for race 2. We don't know. I've not been told that, but Osman is missing, so everybody else just moves up a slot in the grid order. So let's have a look down the grid, shall we? Ready for race 2. Stormfly, winner of race 1, and convincing winner as well, actually. He's still out on pole. Scooby, fantastic result for him. He's now on P2. Brownie, brilliant race for him in race 1. He finds himself third on the grid. Fitzy in 4th, with Wadru just behind him in 5th. Unforgiven is 6th. Brian Moncani is in 7th. Derg is 8th. Archer 9th. Stealth is 10th, and Hawkeye is 11th. Back up to the top. We'll get the right camera angle now. We've got 5 lights on, so let's get them lights out, shall we, and get underway as Stormfly gets everybody moving. And let's just have a look, make sure we are all moving. Yes, we are. So everybody is away as Stormfly emerges from the tunnel with Scooby tucked in right underneath him, and then we've got Brownie just in there, but a whole glut of cars. In fact, we're going 3 wide for some of them. Let's have a look at, follow Wardrobe round as we go into turn 1. You can see a whole group of cars all trying to go 3-4 wide into turn 1. I'm not surprised a few of them have a bit of a scrape with the barrier, but we're all through as we just see Hawkeye follows through at the back there, but everybody managing to get through. We're still very bunched up. Hawkeye and Scooby just trying to open up a little bit of a gap back to Fitzy. Fitzy, he's okay at the minute. He's not under a massive amount of pressure. It's Brownie who's under the most pressure at the minute, sitting in 4th. He's got Wadru behind him, who in turn has got Brian Moncani behind him. Let's jump on board with Wadru as we're following Brownie through turn 11. Sorry, I'm ahead of myself, but 7 and 8 and 9. Brian Moncani just sitting there behind. So this section is just a case of just trying to follow the guy in front, and then you can get your foot down. As you exit turn 11, it's the chase up towards turn 12 and the very tight right hand hairpin. So Wadru not under a massive amount of pressure at the minute, so he can concentrate on trying to put the pressure on Brownie. We've got Scooby in 2nd, Fitzy just ahead in 3rd, then Brownie. Brian Moncani just sitting behind us still. Onto the straight, 1.93 miles approximately of straight tarmac through down under the tunnel into darkness, slipstreaming as much as you can, and I think Woodrow's in the slipstream definitely, but then again so are the cars in front of him. Stormfly, well, he's out in front, and I think he's going to make it to turn 1, but it is the race for 2nd, 3rd and 4th as we go 3 wide. Fitzy just getting the nose in front, but Brownie stuck in the middle of that sandwich with Fitzy on the inside, Scooby on the outside. Do they all get round? Yes, they all slow. Oh no, Brownie had a bit of a kiss with the barrier as we go round, but he's still facing the right way and he's still racing. He's holding on to P4. Fitzy has moved up into P2 with Scooby now in 3rd, Brownie 4th, Wadru up into 5th, Brian Moncani is in 6th, Unforgiven 7th, then we've got Archer, Derg in 9th, Stealth in 10th, and then Hawkeye down in 11th. We will have a look at the tyres in a second. Now everybody except Archer was on the soft tyres in race 1. Archer chose to go with the mediums. Now I mentioned the tyres at the beginning of this race because there should be 3 races, and mediums do need to be used in at least one of the races. If it was scheduled for 3 races, then some of the guys would have been saving mediums for race 3, which would explain why they are on softs in race 2 as well. So unfortunately for Archer, the gamble didn't pay off. He would have been the only driver on softs in race 3, it would appear, but well, that's the way it goes. We can't help the technical difficulties, can we? As Stormfly looks to open up a bit of a gap back to Fitzy, but Fitzy's not allowing it. Scooby as well, doing well at the minute. Scooby back up into 3rd, and Brownie into P4. Wadru in P5, and then we do have a little bit of a gap back to Unforgiven. Unforgiven has got 3 cars battling it out behind him. We've got Brian Mulcahy, Archer and Derg all fighting it out for P7 on lap 3, or 4.5 minutes into this 15-minute race, as they come to the end of this massively long straight up towards turn 1, hard on the brakes. It's a double right-hander, turns 1 and 2, with barriers all the way around. Very easy to wall ride, although you're not supposed to. But it's very easy to do, especially if you don't slow the car down enough. That's Derg in 9th, then you've got Stealth in 10th, with Hawkeye just sitting behind in 11th. So not massive gaps opening up. Stormfly, he's still out in front, but he just cannot shake Fitzy off. Fitzy, if you remember, if you watched in race 1, had a bit of a coming together with Wadru on the first lap, which put them all the way down at the back. They did manage to make their way back up to, I think, 5th and 6th, and Fitzy going a bit better this time round in P2, just behind Stormfly. So he's just going to have to hope that Stormfly makes a mistake. Brownie still sitting in 3rd, having a fantastic outing at Tokyo. Is Brownie doing a brilliant job. He goes around turn 12. I don't want to curse him too much. As the back end of that BMW complains as he tries to get on the power out of turn 12. Now the problem is he's on the straights with Wadru and Scooby both sitting within the slipstream, so if Wadru makes the move, and I think he will, Brownie will not be able to defend it much. He's just going to have to pick his line and stick to it, and you can see Brownie sticking to the left. Wadru cruises up behind him, and then as they emerge the tunnel, Wadru goes through. Brownie would just wait for him, tuck him behind, and try and pick up the slipstream on Wadru as they go into turn 1, and now they're side by side. So Brownie did pick up a bit of slipstream. He did get close enough to Wadru, but Brownie on the outside. Now he's clipped the barrier a couple of times taking that outside line, but managed to get through there perfectly this time. Well done to Brownie, great racing there, especially when you're up against the likes of Wadru, who's sitting in 4th now. Scooby in 5th, Brian Mulcahy in 6th. There were still these 4 cars battling it out for P6. We've got Brian, Unforgiven, Derg and Archer. Fantastic race these 4 are having. We'll just follow these guys through. Unforgiven right in the thick of it, as he was in the first race, until he had that little bump with the barrier. It was roughly around here somewhere as well. As Derg has a bit of a cheeky look at the inside of Unforgiven, but has to drop back and back out of that one. We're on board with Unforgiven. Oh, he's making the move on Brian. He's going up the inside of Brian. Now, can he get the car slowed down? No, Brian fights back. And Unforgiven just having to slot in behind Brian again. All the while, Derg is getting closer and closer. Now then, is Unforgiven going to have another look as they race up towards turn 12? Unforgiven is on the outside, with Brian on the inside then as they hit this hairpin. Oh, Brian goes deep. Unforgiven looking for the cutback, and has he got it done? I think he has. Where is Brian Eads? Oh, there he is. He's on the left-hand side. Oh, this is fantastic racing between these two. Side by side, Unforgiven and Brian Moncani both have exactly the same power unit, so they are now forming a rolling roadblock because Derg is trying to get by. Archer's he's managed to get himself on the inside, so Derg, if Derg wants to get anything out of this, he's going to have to push his way through. Now let's have a look. All we can see is headlights as we emerge from the tunnel, and these four, it's almost like they are glued together. Unforgiven just ahead of Derg in 7th, still side by side into turn 1 they go. Derg on the inside, Unforgiven trying to go all the way around the outside. He's still holding on to 6. Derg has moved into 7th, and he is having another look at Derg as they go through turn 2, but no, Unforgiven in 6th, Derg is 7th as they settle back down again. Brian in 8th with Archer in 9th. Fantastic racing from these League 1 guys in the BMW M3. And it's still not over yet because Brian Moncani's decided to have a bit of a fight with Unforgiven and Derg now. Unforgiven in 6th, hanging on for dear life. Oh, and Brian's just lost out to Archer. Archer sneaks through and takes P8 away from Brian. He's not going to be happy about that, is he? He was challenging Derg and Unforgiven, and then all of a sudden, oh, what has happened there? Well, we'll go on board with Unforgiven. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but, well, we're going to find out, aren't we? Unforgiven in 6th. Oh, he just clips the curb there. Throws him out to the left. That slowed him down. Oh, he's hit the curb again, and oh, absolute chaos. Fantastic stuff. Let's just go back a little bit. And you can just see Unforgiven just clips the curb. I think it was just around here. He just clips the curb there on the right hand side. That threw him out to the left and catches the curb, and that completely threw him off his line. As he's tried to come around, he's then hit the barrier, hit Derg. Oh, and it's well, everybody's parked up. Unforgiven sideways, and of course you have to do it's a bit of an Austin Powers to try and do your 3-point turn there. That is so unlucky for those two guys. They were having a fantastic battle, and Brian Moncani and Archer, well, they've just carried on going so they can resume the fight. But brilliant racing up to that point. Let's just go back and have a look at the top. While we've been watching those guys, Stormfly still out in front, and he still cannot shake Fitzy, but this time Fitzy, is he in the slipstream? I think he may just be close enough. As they go across the start finish line, still in the tunnel, just approaching the exit of the tunnel now, and Fitzy, you know what, I think he's going to catch Stormfly just as they get to turn 1, so it's whether he decides to have a bit of a go at him. He does pull to the inside, and there we go. Fitzy just gets his bumper in front of Stormfly, so Fitzy on the inside. Stormfly's going to have to go all the way around the outside if he wants this. Maybe looking at the cutback, but Fitzy was wise to that one. Great move from Fitzy to get himself into P1, but Stormfly now fighting back. He's going to want his second win of the day, isn't he? So the Flying Dutchman is now all over Fitzy. You can see him looking left and looking right, desperately looking for a way by. Probably the best thing to do would just to be sitting there behind Fitzy until they get onto the straight and he can use the slipstream. Maybe even maybe use the slipstream, but do the overtake towards the end of the straight rather than at the beginning, because if you do it at the beginning, your opponent's just going to slot in behind you and get it back. We saw Brownie do that, didn't we, earlier on? And maybe that's what Stormfly's thinking. He'll be definitely trying to pick his moment anyway. As Brownie just has a bit of a clip of the wall there as well, but managing to hold on to P4. Wadrow up into P3. This is more like it from Wadrow. Brownie coming under attack from Scooby. Scooby was having a little bit of a look at the inside, but didn't quite get close enough. He's tried to take the tighter line through turn 12 into turn 13. Oh, again, Brownie having another little bit of a kiss with the barrier. let's just go back up and see what's happening in the tunnel as Stormfly gets underneath Fitz's rear wing this time. So it's going to be, well, almost like a carbon copy, isn't it, of the move that Fitzy did on Stormfly. Make the move towards the end of the straight just as they're coming into turn 1. There we go, Stormfly pulls out. Not much Fitzy can do. The slipstream is just too much, except wait for Stormfly to go by and then slot in behind him. Now we are just approaching 13 minutes, so about 2.5 minutes to go. These guys are lapping at around the 2-minute mark. You see Wadru's got the fastest lap of 1:59. So it's whoever, I think, gets that move done into turn 1 is probably going to win this race. So Fitzy's just going to tuck up behind Stormfly, and he'll be looking at making the move on the straight, getting himself into P1 for the final lap. That's going to be an interesting run-in. Let's just go down the order. Woodrow in 3rd, Brownie still in 4th. He's having a fantastic fight with Scooby. These two pretty much been at it all night. Scooby currently sitting in 5th, but really putting the pressure on Brownie. So far Brownie soaking it up, although he's had a couple of kisses with the barrier. As Scooby has a look at the outside as they go through turn 11 up the hill. Sorry, turn 10. Now they're coming up to turn 11. Right, the map's the other side of the desk and my eyesight's really bad. So Scooby moves up into 4th, Brownie in 5th. Now back up to the top, Fitzy currently in P1, but Stormfly is tucked right underneath him as they enter the tunnel. Let's just have a look. This will be their final lap. We are into the 15th minute. Now Stormfly will get by Fitzy. It's just when. Now does he do it straight away? I think if it was me, and obviously these guys are a lot quicker than I am, I would probably wait until I get to the end of the straight, just before we get to turn 1. Then I would make the move, because otherwise Fitz is just going to drop in behind. And I think that's exactly what Stormfly's done. He's just sort of waited. He's got himself in front towards the end of the straight, into turn 1, into turn 2, and he's now in P1, and he's got the upper hand in this race now. Stormfly in command of it. He's just going to have to defend through these next 7 or 8 turns. Fitzy, he's the one that's got the work to do. He's got to try and find a way past. And the only way he's going to do it really is if he can get right underneath the rear wing of Stormfly as they come out of turn 12 and 13, and then it'll be a fight or a dash really to the finish line. As these two fight it out, let's just have a quick look. So Wadru 3rd, Brownie 4th, Scooby 5th, Brian Moncani 6th, Archer 7th, Stealth 8th. Then we've got Derg, Hawkeye, and then Unforgiven all the way down in 11th. So Unforgiven, after that crash with Derg, finds himself down in 11th. So up with the front two, and you can just see Wadru there creeping up. Maybe another 2 or 3 laps and Wadru would have caught these guys up, but we are on the final lap. Around turn 12 for the final time into turn 13, and Fitzy, I don't think Fitzy's close enough. He really needed to be tucked underneath Stormfly as they came out of turn 13, but they're not. So the dash to the finish really is going to be won by Stormfly. The slipstream's not really going to kick in until they get towards the end of the tunnel. So Stormfly will take the win, his 2nd win of the night. Well done to him. Fitzy in 2nd, Wadru 3rd. Brownie, another great result for Brownie to finish in P4. Well done to him. Scooby, excuse me, P5. Brian Moncani across the line in 6th. He's got Archer just tucked in behind him. 8th is going to be Stealth. Well done to Stealth. Let's just follow Stealth across the line. Derg is going to finish in 9th. Not really been his night. Hawkeye in 10th. And Unforgiven, well, unfortunately, down in 11th. Fantastic racing from these guys. Join us next week. We're going to be, I believe we're going to be at Trial Mountain, and just 3 more rounds to go. Actually, we've got Trial Mountain, then we've got the Nürburgring on the GP circuit, and well, round 10 is just going to be random, so it could be anywhere. So yeah, stick with us. 3 more rounds to go. I should catch up with you all later.